This is macOS Ken.
Get ready for the super duper cycle, a lawsuit over the butterfly effect, and Congress has a new plan of attack. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of March, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries at sunbasket.com/macOSken with offer code macOSken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSken. Think iPhone 12 sales constitute a super cycle? That iPhone 13 may be a super duper cycle. That's according to Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives, who did, of course, not use the term super duper cycle. Apple 3.0 posted part of a note Ives wrote. He thinks Apple's next round of iPhones is on track for a late September release, which we used to call the normal time in the before times. That said, he says that time frame could change. The bigger news is the bigger number of builds he's expecting. Quoting his note, initial Asia supply chain builds for iPhone 13 are currently in the roughly 100 million unit range compared to our initial iPhone 12 reads at 80 million units pre-COVID, and represents a 25% increase year over year out of the gate. While this number will clearly move around over the coming months, we believe this speaks to an increased confidence with Cook & Company that this 5G-driven product cycle will extend well into 2022 and should also benefit from a post-vaccine consumer reopening environment. Mr. Ives has an outperform rating on Apple's shares. His price target on the shares is $175. If you had one of Apple's bum butterfly keyboards, lawyers would like to hear from you. Specific lawyers, not all of them. The Mac Observer says Judge Edward Davila has approved a class action lawsuit against Apple over its butterfly keyboards. Eligible customers can join the lawsuit in these 7 states: California, New York, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, Washington, and Michigan. If you're not aware of the butterfly keyboard issues, count yourself among the lucky. Keys that stopped registering presses, keys that registered too many presses. As keyboards went, they weren't the best. Apple actually initiated a repair program back in 2019, though that wasn't enough for some. Quoting the Mac Observer again, the lawsuit claims that Apple knew about the keyboard problems for years and accuses the company of violating several laws, including California's Unfair Competition Law, the Florida Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act, and the Michigan Consumer Protection Act. Folks wanting more info on the suit can visit the website gerardsharp.com. Staying in the "It's broke, please fix it" file, 9to5Mac says YouTube is working on a problem affecting some Apple TV users. Over the last week, the piece says, YouTube users have been reporting an error message claiming that something went wrong when trying to load a video on the YouTube app on the Apple TV HD and Apple TV 4K. YouTube says it is aware of the issue and is investigating a fix. 9to5Mac users have been complaining about the issue on that site. There's also a thread on Apple's discussion boards. That's yielded a suggestion that sounds like kind of a pain in the backside, though not a huge pain. Users on Apple's forum suggest deleting the YouTube app from the Apple TV, reinstalling the app, and then signing into YouTube with the "using my phone" option. Or you could wait and see what YouTube comes up with. Your HomePod Mini may have secret powers. Secret powers it's not allowed to use, according to Engadget. That site highlights a report from Bloomberg that says Apple's $99 smart speaker packs a temperature and humidity sensor made by Texas Instruments. According to the piece, iFixit found the 1.5mm by 1.5mm chip hidden away from the Mini's other components, suggesting it's not there to measure the device's internal temperature. Apple has reportedly discussed allowing the sensor to share the data it collects with other HomeKit-enabled devices, such as fans and thermostats. Bloomberg figures Apple could activate the sensors, letting them trigger other devices on a network with a sort of if this, then that set of parameters that would catch HomePod Mini up with some Amazon Echo abilities, according to the report. While that's not the kind of thing Apple does a lot, it's also not unheard of. The piece points out that the 2008 iPod Touch featured a Bluetooth chip that Apple enabled about a year after its release. More news in a moment, but first a word from Sunbasket, delivering oven-ready meals that are fast, fresh, and delicious. The joke around the house has been that it's been the same day for over a year. Lockdown has meant lots of ruts. If your menu's been repetitive, let Sunbasket mix it up. They've got oven-ready meals that are great. New food, practically no work. Ready for the oven or microwave, you could be trying something new in no time, like pappardelle with wilted spinach, sweet peas, and fresh ricotta, or braised beef Penang curry with jasmine rice and sweet peas. I'm a fan of curry. Everything I've had from Sunbasket has been excellent, thanks to their award-winning chefs and their great ingredients. Premium, quality, real food, including organic fresh produce, antibiotic and hormone-free meats, and sustainably sourced seafood. You should give them a try, and they've got a special deal to get you started. Right now, Sunbasket has a limited time offer. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries, including free shipping on the first box when you go right now to sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout for $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries, plus free shipping on your first box. sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken. Offer expires on the 13th of April. Capitol Hill has a new plan of attack against big tech. Several small attacks in quick succession. Apple Insider has the head of the House Judiciary Committee's antitrust panel, Representative David Cicilline, Democrat of Rhode Island, laying out the plan to Axios. As attack plans go, has its merits. Cicilline's thinking is that lots of smaller hits in quick succession will be harder for big tech lobbyists to gear up against. Additionally, he figures he'll find more common ground across the aisle on some of his proposals rather than trying to get any Republicans on board with one big push. And so, the piece says, he is in the process of creating numerous smaller bills, possibly more than 10, that could arrive before the summer. In other news, I want to take the rest of the year off. Apple marked World Water Day with a continued commitment to the efficient and safe use of, you guessed it, water. Apple Insider says the company used the day to double down on its partnership with the International Alliance for Sustainable Water Management. That's an organization that sets standards and certifies compliance for companies reliant on water for their manufacturing processes, according to the report. Though World Water Day is worldwide, that's what the world part means, Apple focused on China on Monday, likely because that's where most of the company's production takes place. Ge Yu, VP of Apple and Managing Director of Greater China, was quoted in translation saying, "We firmly believe in the power of lead by example and strive to inspire enterprises in China and beyond to push their supply chains into water resources management. We would like to congratulate the supply chain enterprises that have recently been certified by the International Alliance for Sustainable Water Management, but we will never stop there. Together, we will continue to work together to create a new positive impact in the communities we operate to protect more of this valuable shared resource. While World Water Day has been a UN program since 1993, Apple only partnered with the International Alliance for Sustainable Water Management in 2018. And yet it seems to have done a lot of good in those 3 years. Apple Insider says Chunhua Technology, an Apple circuit board supplier, gained its Alliance Gold certification when Apple joined in 2018. It was followed by many other Apple suppliers. An exec from the organization was quoted as saying, "We are pleased to see more and more Apple supply chain companies participating in our certification programs, which highlights the impact and strength of our partnership with Apple to promote first-class water resources management. Real water resources management requires collaboration and leadership. Apple's constantly improving standards for itself and supply chain businesses set an example for the entire industry." Whether this is the right time or the wrong time, iDownload blog says Ron Okamoto has decided it's time. Apple's longtime App Store developer relations chief has retired, according to the site. Okamoto has been the head of developer relations for Apple since 2001, when there were considerably fewer developers with whom to relate, and relating to them wasn't so fraught. Susan Prescott, previously VP of Product Marketing, will now take the role of VP of Developer Relations, according to the report. And finally today, a story about which I don't know how to feel exactly. I mean, it's cool, and yet 9to5Mac says Apple is opening a store in downtown Nashville next Monday. Like right downtown, on the corner of 5th and Broadway, directly across the street from Bridgestone Arena, home of the Nashville Predators, and half a block from the Ryman Auditorium, original home of the Grand Ole Opry. Now I say I don't know how to feel about it because I grew up in Nashville, left when I was 19. When I'd go home for Christmas, friends and I would go downtown and walk around because it was quiet. There was nobody there. Couple of honky-tonks, couple of adult emporiums. When I was in high school, we called Nashville Nash Vegas, completely ironically. The city was as dead as dead. If you've been to Nashville in the last 15 years or so, you know it's nothing like that now. Several solid blocks of live music and more neon than you can shake a stick at downtown. Nothing wrong with any of that, except home's gone. In many ways, it's been good for the city. In other ways, it's had its costs. Anyway, Apple is landing a new Apple Store right in the middle of all of it. According to 9to5Mac, Apple Downtown Nashville is a single-level store with soaring wood ceilings and walls of limestone and glass. Corner windows overlook Broadway, and it's today at Apple Forum, and video wall will fill the center of the store. The design represents Apple's most significant tier of retail architecture and is Tennessee's first walkable downtown Apple store, according to the report. macOSken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries at sunbasket.com/macOSken with offer code macOSken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSken. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info@macosken.com or call 716 780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.